Welcome to Paranormal Northwest, a podcast all about the history and the paranormal of the Pacific Northwest. Join me as I tell stories of this great region, the history, the people who live here, and those who may have never left. Today we're headed east over the mountains to southern Idaho, where we are looking at the Albion State Normal School in Albion, Idaho. So grab your sweater, your blanket, and a cup of tea, and let's get started. Albion, Idaho. Albion is an incredibly small town located in Cassia County in southern Idaho. As of the 2020 census, the population was only 234 people. Albion is part of Idaho's Magic Valley. This is a region of southern central Idaho that is most often associated with the Snake River agricultural region. This area is named the Magic Valley due to the drastic change to the region created by the Milner and Minnedoka dams in the early 20th century. Much of the area went from being uninhabitable to some of the most productive farmland in the Northwest. Today, the Magic Valley area is home to approximately 185,000 people, or 12% of Idaho's population. Albion was established in the early 1870s, along with much of the fervent western expansion in the United States. The settlement started with 4 Mormon families who each staked 160 acres. The name Albion comes from the poetic name for Great Britain. Like many western towns during the mid-late to 19th century, Albion and all of southern Idaho was fraught with fighting and violence. The most notorious of these in Cassia County were the Deep Creek murders of 1896, not to be confused with the Deep Creek murders of 1887, but that's another episode. The Deep Creek murders of 1896 were the culmination of a sheep war that escalated along the borders of Idaho and Nevada. Beginning in the early 1870s, John Sparks grew an impressive cattle industry in Texas, Wyoming, Nevada, and later southern Idaho. Originally from Mississippi, Sparks became a Texas Ranger at the onset of the Civil War, possibly to avoid being drafted into the Confederacy. Upon moving his cattle into southern Idaho, Sparks used much of the land in the Cassia County area. However, he didn't actually own much of it. While the other farms and inhabitants of the area didn't oppose this, possibly due to how powerful Sparks and his cattlemen allies were, when Mormons and Basques began to move into southern Idaho in the summer of 1896, there began to be issues. The Mormons and Basques, people originally from the Basque country of southwestern France and north-central Spain, had been successful sheep herders in Utah. They thus brought their sheep with them to Idaho. However, sheep grazing is often much more destructive to the natural environment than cattle are. Because of this, cattlemen, headed by Sparks, hired gunfighters to keep the sheep back. The most notorious of these gunfighters was Diamond Jack Davis. Davis was known to be ruthless and bloodthirsty. He would attack sheep herders and poison water sources, but one attack left a shepherd named Bill Tolman wounded. Thus began the sheep wars. Diamondfield Jack Davis had warned that the next shepherds he saw in Cassia County he would kill. So when the bodies of 2 Mormon shepherds were discovered on February 19, 1896, he was the prime suspect. Davis was quickly captured and brought to Albion to stand trial. Although defended by future Idaho Senator James H. Hawley, he was still sentenced to hang on June 4, 1897. However, while awaiting his execution, 2 men named James Bauer and Jeff Gray confessed to the murders. While the 2 men were ultimately acquitted, there was still reasonable doubt that Davis had committed the murders, in part because Sparks verified the 2 men's story. After being moved back and forth between Albion and Boise over the next few years, Davis was again sentenced to death on July 3, 1901. However, many in the public now thought he was innocent. Public support for Davis grew as Sparks, who was now the governor of Nevada, decried his innocence. Finally, in late December of 1902, Davis was granted a full pardon and released from prison. After being released from prison, where Davis had spent the last 7 years of his life, he became a prospector. He quickly bought up mining claims and land and became a very wealthy man. However, as with many stories of the Old West, his fates turned and he eventually lost his fortune. Davis died in 1949 when he was struck and killed by a taxi in Las Vegas. Davis's pardon effectively ended the sheep wars, but the murders of the two Mormon shepherds have technically never been solved. The Albion State Normal School's journey from its humble beginnings to its integration with the University of Idaho is a testament to its evolution and impact on education in Idaho. Established in 1893, the institution initially operated out of a single building in Albion. Despite its modest beginnings, it offered a comprehensive array of courses encompassing education, liberal arts, and various vocational subjects. This diverse curriculum reflected the school's commitment to providing a well-rounded education to its students, equipping them with the knowledge and skills needed to succeed in an ever-changing world. As the years passed, the Albion Normal School experienced significant growth and transformation. In 1915, it was renamed the Southern Branch of the University of Idaho, signaling its integration into a broader network of educational institutions and expanding its scope just beyond teacher education. This change reflected the school's evolving mission and commitment to serving the needs of Idaho's growing population. In 1920, the institution underwent another name change, becoming the Albion Normal School, a designation that underscored its renewed focus on teacher education. With a primary mission of preparing teachers for rural schools in Idaho, the Albion Normal School placed a strong emphasis on practical teaching skills and hands-on experience, ensuring that its graduates were well equipped to meet the unique challenges of rural education. In 1951, the Albion Normal School took its final steps toward integration with the University of Idaho, merging with the larger institution to become the Southern Idaho College of Education. This union marked a new chapter in the school's history, aligning it more closely with the university's broader mission and resources while retaining its commitment to excellence in teacher education. Through each stage of its evolution, from its early years as a modest institution in Albion to its integration with the University of Idaho, the Albion Normal School remains steadfast in its dedication to providing high-quality education and preparing teachers to serve the needs of Idaho's communities. Today, its legacy lives on in the College of Southern Idaho, a testament to the enduring impact of its mission and vision. The transformation of the Albion Normal School into the College of Southern Idaho, or CSI, represents a remarkable evolution that reflects the changing needs and aspirations of the community it serves. From its origins as a teacher training institution, CSI has grown into a comprehensive college offering a diverse array of academic programs across multiple disciplines. As the demands of higher education and the workforce evolved over time, so too did the mission and scope of CSI. While teacher education remained a cornerstone of the institution's identity, CSI recognized the need to expand its offerings to better meet the needs of its students and the broader community. This evolution was driven by a commitment to providing accessible, relevant, and high-quality education that prepares graduates for success in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. Albion State Normal School today. The property that originally housed the Albion State Normal School is today a venue and retreat property. The beautiful property has been restored since it was purchased by the Mortensen family in 2007. While many are skeptical of the paranormal aspect of Albion Normal School, many do believe in it. There have been numerous sightings of a woman in white in Comish Hall, previously the women's dormitory. The woman is often seen wearing a long white dress throughout various areas of the building. One night, a paranormal investigation group was setting up their equipment for the evening. They saw the woman at the other end of the hallway they were on and reported it to the Mortensens. While they had their recording equipment, it was not set up at the time, so the woman was not captured on video. During the Halloween season, the Albion Normal School transforms into an interactive haunted house. Leaning into the lore of the 130-year-old site, the buildings are transformed with actors haunting the grounds. One night at closing, a couple descended the stairs in Comish Hall appeared to be terrified. They had reportedly heard the voice of a young woman or boy saying, "Please don't leave, wait, come back." The staff had also heard this and investigated the building, but were unable to find anyone who could have made the noise. Today, it seems that the paranormal aspect of the property is centered around the Halloween festivities. You can experience the beautiful property for yourself by attending a retreat there. Thank you for joining me as we explored another amazing area of the Pacific Northwest. If you have stories of your own to share, follow me on social media at ParaNWPod and message or comment on a post. Also, check out our merch. We have a few different designs to represent your favorite aspect of the paranormal Pacific Northwest. Until next time, bye!